Hello, dear students. Welcome to Hybrid Learning. So today we are going to study about all about acids part 2. The part 1 for this video will be attached in the description box. Go check it out. So today we will be focusing mainly on the reactions of the acid. So last video we have spoken about the acid, what is an acid, the properties, okay, the identification reactions, all these things we have discussed. So today we will be speaking about the reactions, the main reactions about an acid. So the first one which we'll be speaking about, that is acid reacts with base to produce salt and water. Now this is something which we have spoken in the last video as well. This was designated as neutralization reaction. Yes, it is the same reaction only. So I'm taking out this reaction again because this is one of the most important reaction. Okay. So now when a strong acid reacts with a strong base, it completely neutralizes and it forms a salt. Now you must think that what is the salt that I'm talking about? So salt is nothing. It's basically a general term, which is a compound which is formed from these two substances, and it will have a property of the acid and the base. Okay, so it will be a neutral, okay, substance which will be formed, a compound which will be formed, which will be formed from the acid and base, these two substances. Okay, that is the salt. So we can have a general example for this. Okay, suppose if you are taking sulfuric acid and if you're making it react with copper oxide, we get copper sulfate plus water. It's a very general kind of equation, but yeah, we can relate to it. So salt is something which is a very important topic here, because further when we are going towards learning the other reaction also, salt is something that we have to look into. Now the next thing that is a very, very important thing, in some textbooks we will be speaking about alkalis and in some textbooks we'll be speaking about base. So usually people have a confusion that both of them are same or not. So understand, alkalis are also bases only. Okay, so they are a special kind of base. But alkalis are dissolved, soluble in water. But if we talk about base, okay, all the bases are not soluble in water. But alkalis are those special kind of bases which are soluble in water. So that is the major distinction that we should remember. Okay, so there is a very common statement which is being coded, that is all alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkalis. So this is a very important statement which is concluded for the difference between alkalis and bases. Okay, now let's move on to the next chemical equation. Now in this case, what do? We take acid and we react with a metal. Okay, so what happens when a metal reacts with acid? It forms a salt and it forms a hydrogen gas, right? So let's see the setup. So as we can see here, there is a stand, there is a clamp, this is a test tube in which there is zinc granules present, and there is dilute sulfuric acid which is present here. Okay, so once the reaction starts, so what happens? Here there is a salt. So in this case, what will happen? So suppose if I take zinc and sulfuric acid, so we will produce zinc chloride, as the reaction states here, right? Zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. Okay. Now suppose here that there is a zinc chloride which is formed, hydrogen gas is being formed. It is being collected here through the delivery tube. Okay. So here there is a soap solution. So if you can see here, there are bubbles which you can see, right? So this is nothing but effervescence. So why does it happen? So when a gas is being sent through some solution, that like this bubble formation will take place. Okay. Now, a very major important question here comes that how do we know that this is hydrogen only? This is something very important, because I don't know whether hydrogen gas is formed or not. I'm not able to understand it because it doesn't have a characteristic color or some odor or something like that. So we should study the identification reaction for hydrogen gas. How do we understand that? It's very easy. We can take a burning matchstick or we can take a burning splint. Okay, we can bring it near to these bubbles which are being formed. Okay, so what will happen? So if this hydrogen gas will burn with a pop sound, and there will be a blue color flame which is being present. Now this is a very characteristic reaction of hydrogen gas. From here we can conclude that yes, there is the presence of hydrogen gas. Very important confirmatory reaction. Okay, now let's move on to the next equation. So here this is acid, okay, which is reacting with carbonate to form salt, water, and carbon dioxide. Let's see some examples. So here, as you can see here, what is happening? This is the acid, and here there is marble chip. So marble chip is nothing but calcium carbonate, okay? So when acid, suppose particularly hydrochloric acid if we take, so when it reacts with marble chips, which is nothing but calcium carbonate, it is taken in a test tube, okay? The reaction starts and we can see here. So we will get here calcium chloride as the salt, water, and carbon dioxide. Now this gas which is being formed is again taken through this delivery tube here, okay? In this another test tube. So what is present in this test tube? Lime water is present, okay? Lime water is nothing but a basic solution of calcium hydroxide, okay? This is the lime water here, okay? Now what happens basically to the lime water? It turns milky. So it will be like a normal solution, okay? So after sometimes when carbon dioxide is going through it, it will turn into some whitish, chalky, milky color. The texture will change, okay? Why? Because once it starts entering this lime water solution, it forms calcium carbonate. It forms this insoluble calcium carbonate. It's a solid which will be not dissolved, okay? So it will settle at the base of the test tube. So sometimes it is also called precipitate, and these kind of reactions are also called precipitation reaction, okay? So here this white precipitate will be settled down, okay? There will be a chalky solution here, okay? This is the confirmatory test for carbon dioxide gas, okay? So I hope you understood this, okay? So if you have any doubt, please ask us in the comment box, get back to us. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe our channel for more. Thank you.